Alrighty, what is up, y'all? Wow, immediately start with a voice crack. That's great. Immediately, that is like a record. Hmm. I kept getting voice cracks in the last live stream. Y'all remember that? Um, my Superman one. Alright, but what's up, y'all? I'll be back with another uh movie review live stream. And today we're going to be reviewing The Fantastic Four First Steps. Now, I am going to quickly make sure the audio is working. Good. That looks good. I just want to make sure the music's also fine because because I went back on the last live stream and apparently the music was a little too loud. So, oh, I haven't even started the music. What am I talking about? Okay. Alright, about that, we'll wait like a minute or two and then I'll check to make sure the music's not too loud like the last stream. What's up? It's Robot Man. What's up? But yeah, what else I was gonna say? Oh yeah, for those of you watching in playback that wanted to see the live chat down there, like in the last live stream, fortunately I cannot put it on screen for some reason. Because usually YouTube like has like the pop out chat, where like you can like copy the link and then you can add it, like to the stream like down there so y'all can watch it on like on screen. For some reason it was not popping up, so I was not able to add the chat on screen. So sorry to those of you who wanted to read chat on screen. You'd have to look on the playback, or what's it called, like the actual live chat. Do a front flip. I cannot do a front flip. I can do it on a trampoline. I cannot without one. So yeah, I think I've tried to though. Hasn't gone well. All right, let me make sure the music's not too loud. Okay, it looks fine. Okay, I think so. Anyway, also sorry if I'm like, actually, let me see if I can put my, okay, no I can't. If I'm looking like straight down, that means I'm reading the chat. Usually I have it like right in front of me, but my phone is charging right now because it's almost dead, so that's why. Did you watch the movie in a movie theater? I did watch it in a movie theater. I saw it 2 days ago. So yeah, I decided to give it the weekend till I reviewed it. Do a spoiler one, so yeah. But so there will be spoilers. So if you have not seen the movie, here's your warning. There are spoilers in this review. So yeah, there's your warning. But alright. So, Fantastic Four First Steps. Of course, this is the start to Phase 6 of the MCU, which is also the final phase in the multiverse saga already. It's kind of weird to think we're already at, like, not at the end, at the beginning of the end of the multiverse saga. It's like, which, I mean, it makes sense, I guess, because it started, what, 5 years? So yeah, it only started like 5.5 years ago now, when the Infinity Saga was like 11 years. By the time by the time this saga's done, it'll have been like what, 7 years or something like that, if unless Secret Wars gets delayed again, which who knows, it probably will. Um, but yeah. Did you get any special popcorn buckets? I went to Regal and got the bundle with the popcorn buckets that had 4 layers of each character, and I got the. My theater did have some stuff. They didn't really have anything all that like cool that I thought was worth buying. I mean, there was the Galactus bucket. Although, actually, I don't even know if my theater was selling those. I think, wasn't that an AMC thing? I don't know, because my theater is Cinemark, so I don't know if they were selling those, but even then I probably wouldn't have gone it because it was way too expensive. But yeah, I haven't bought like a special popcorn bucket since like, yeah, but I'll show you. I've not bought one since last year with Deadpool and Wolverine. This was the last one I bought. And I tried buying a Sonic 3 one, but like the first time I went and saw it, they were selling them, but then when I went to go buy it, the second time I went to see it, they ran out, so I couldn't get that, but I got the Wolverine one at least. Yeah, like I said, so this movie is the start of Phase 6 of the MCU. So yeah, and also I know the poster on the poster and the title doesn't have first steps in it. I I kind of did that purposely just because, like, the poster I made specifically, and this one I just found online. I looked up, like, the logo PNG and I found it. Because, honestly, even after seeing the movie, I don't really get the subtitle all that much. I mean, I remember when they announced it. By the way, I just realized that my window's not even open, but the air is off. Sure. There we go. Alright. But yeah, I remember when they first announced the subtitle, and I was not a big fan of it. That was kind of dumb. And after seeing the movie, I still don't really like it. Not that that's a problem towards the movie itself. Obviously, I just, you know, the baby doesn't even walk. That's the thing. The baby doesn't even walk. A lot of people are like, "Oh, it'll be the baby's first steps in the movie," but the baby doesn't even walk at all. So, alright. Man, this live stream gonna be just like the Superman review, where I'm just full of voice cracks the whole time? I really hope not. Anyway, wait, hold on. There we go. So what was I saying? Alright, Fantastic Four. So, what did I think of Fantastic Four? Honestly, I loved it. I loved Fantastic Four, First Steps, alright? Okay, going back to the previous Fantastic Four movies, which I just started rewatching them after this one. I was thinking about doing it before I saw this one, but I just didn't get around to it. But the other, or I guess technically yesterday, I did watch or rewatch Fan Four Stick. Me and my best friend rewatched it, and yeah, still a terrible movie. Although the ending is, of course, very funny. I rewatched the 2005 movie. Sorry for your background noise. Although, I don't know. But yeah, I rewatched the 2005 movie, and I do like the 2005 movie, actually. I think it's a solid movie. After, like, rewatching it, especially, I think it's a solid movie. It's not a great movie, but it's a solid movie. And I plan on rewatching Rise of the Silver Surfer probably after the stream, to be honest. I was gonna watch it today as well, but I just haven't yet, so I probably will after this stream, to be honest. And maybe I'll do the 1990s one. I don't know, but so basically, you know, I've known about the Fantastic Four forever now, but I've never been huge on them, just because, you know, just especially with, like, obviously, like I said, Fan Four Stick. But I was definitely excited to see what the MCU would do with Fantastic Four back when Disney bought Fox in 2019. And already losing my voice. Ooh, but yeah, and now here we are 6 whole years later, and we got the first MCU Fantastic Four movie, and I honestly loved it. Alright, I honestly did. Now, there is a few issues, obviously, that I'll get into, but of course, starting at the beginning of the movie, of course, we started with like some, like, basically their origin story, but it's more like, you know, obviously flashbacks, which I thought was a really good idea, because yeah, we've seen their origin story twice now. I mean, I don't remember if they did. I'm gonna guess they did in the 1990s one. I don't remember, but yeah, we've seen their origin. We know the origin, so I did think it was cool though that they did flashbacks. Honestly, I honestly preferred that they did that here more than how Superman handled it, because obviously with Superman you just jump right into it. You know, there's like, we don't really see anything of Superman's origin, which I'm not saying I'm not saying that was a problem I had with Superman, but I do honestly prefer what they did here, with just giving us like glimpses of like obviously like right before they went up in the ship, and then like them coming back with their powers. Yeah, I kind of preferred that, honestly. I thought that was a pretty neat way to do it. Of course, we get like the whole montage of them like fighting criminals, which I thought was pretty cool. And then, also, yeah, I forgot. Before that whole thing, we had the whole thing with Sue being pregnant, and then we got into the whole thing, and then we got more into that, like them telling Ben and Johnny, obviously. And I will say, goddamn, the stupid ass voice cracks, yo, I swear to God. Okay, here, I'm gonna cough. maybe they'll help. Probably not, but we'll see. But okay, I was just saying, the cast. I think the cast was great. I love the cast playing these characters, alright? Like, obviously, Joseph Kling, I thought was pretty cool. I remember some people were kind of hesitant on him, but I don't know, I thought it could be cool from the start when it was first announced, because, you know, I saw him in Stranger Things, and, you know, I was like, yeah, I could see him being Johnny Storm. Ebon, I can never pronounce that right. Eben Moss as the Thing. I think he did a great job with obviously the voice and the Thing's emotions. I think the Thing, this is definitely the best Thing design, I think, definitely. Yeah, I think the Thing was great. Eben did a great job with the voice. Vanessa Kirby was great as Sue Storm, of course. I think she did great. Especially with like all the because she is basically the heart and soul of this movie. You could say, like, a lot of people have been saying that even like before the movie, that was like a thing, and yeah, she definitely is. And I think, you know, she did a great job of that. And Pedro Pascal as Reed Richards. I will say, I am a huge Pedro Pascal fan. I freaking love Pedro Pascal. But even I, when it was first announced, I was like, really? Like, come on, you couldn't get anyone else? I mean, I love Pedro Pascal, but him as Reed Richards, like, I don't see it. I really don't see it. But Pedro was great. He was great. I should not have doubted him, because Pedro is a great actor. He did a great job. Sure, there could have been other choices for Reed Richards, but I'm happy it was Pedro, because he did a great job. I'm happy it was him. I think he did great. So yeah, that's definitely one of the biggest pros I'll give this movie, is the cast and characters, you know, especially because they all feel like a family. Like, I feel like it's especially nice to see after Fan4stick, because obviously Fan4stick, number one, okay, look, that movie had a solid, god damn it, I swear to god, their voice cracked. With Fan4stick, they had a solid cast, like, you know, like, at least, like, you know, like Miles Teller, he's a good actor in other movies, and Michael B. Jordan's, you know, solid in other stuff too, but they definitely were not fit for that movie. Sorry, I hear my parents talking about something. But yeah, okay, hold on. Yeah, I don't know what's going on there. But yeah, I was gonna say, they, like, the cast of Fan4stick, they got a good cast, but they were not the right cast for those characters, because they had no chemistry with each other. Most of them didn't even really interact all that much, like, specifically Johnny and Ben. They didn't interact the whole movie until the very end, where Johnny makes like a comment towards him, like, oh, the thing nobody wanted. It came off so weird, because they had no conflict the whole movie. It was so just dumb. And also the fact that they didn't feel like a family, just felt like random people together, you know? So, I'm glad we got away from that again, because obviously that's something the 2000s movies got right too, was, you know, making them feel like a family. You know, so glad to have seen that in this movie. Trying to think, what was the next main thing that happened? Was that when Silver Surfer came? I think so, unless I'm forgetting something before that. I think so. So of course Silver Surfer shows up. You know, says I herald his beginning, I herald your end, I herald Galactus, which is pretty cool. Which, by the way, Silver Surfer, honestly, I was very surprised by Silver Surfer. She was, you know, I thought she was a lot better than I was expecting her to be. And no, I didn't expect the less because, oh, it's female Silver Surfer. I just, you know, thought she was, you know, I liked her more than I was expecting, you know. So, yeah, I'll talk more about her, though, and her scenes when we get to them. Man, this is why I do not like live streaming, like, when my parents are here, because then they can just hear me talking. And same with videos, of course, but mainly live streams, because, yeah, because I'm live. She said the language, she said something to Johnny, of course, like in a different language. Then they try to, the Fantastic Four, of course, then go up to space to try to negotiate with Galactus. And then, you know, it takes us a little bit to get there. And then we get to Galactus. And Galactus was really cool in this movie. I thought Galactus was very cool. I think, God, what's his name? Ralph. What's the actor's name here? I'm gonna look real quick. I think his first name was Ralph, right? My man, feel bad for forgetting her now. It was, yeah, Ralph. Ralph Ensign? Okay, I can't say the last name. Okay, Ralph. I think Ralph did a great job with the Galactus voice. Like, hell, I was watching interviews like before I saw the movie with him, and I kept going like, Jesus Christ, that is a Galactus voice right there. That is very Galactus like sounding, if that makes sense. And dude, Galactus looked great. Galactus looked really, really good. Like not that I was expecting him to look so bad, but I wouldn't have been that surprised if he didn't look all that great, just because obviously recent MCU stuff hasn't looked all that great. But what's going on right there? I don't know. But sorry, I was reading chat. But yeah, I think Galactus, his voice was great. He looked great, and he was definitely a threat felt throughout the whole movie. Because I feel like he wasn't in the movie that much, but you definitely felt his presence. You definitely felt his presence throughout the whole movie. Him and Silver Surfers. So yeah, of course, Galactus says he wants their child. Sue ends up giving birth to the baby while they're on the ship on their way home. And by the way, the whole sequence of Silver Surfer chasing them was really cool. I really liked the whole sequence. Of course, they come home. They tell everyone that Galactus wants their kid, or else he'll destroy everyone. They said no. Then everyone hates them for it. So yeah, I thought that was a pretty solid, plot line to add in there. Then what else? Then I'm trying to think of the major stuff specifically. Of course, everyone later on, Sue gives a big speech to everyone with Franklin, which I thought was pretty nice. Again, is pretty much showing one of the reasons why Sue is the heart and soul of the movie. Then of course Reed comes up with the plan to move their planet to somewhere else. What do you say specifically? Another universe or something like that? Something like that. Just move Earth far away from Galactus so it doesn't get to them. Of course, they almost end up doing that to make all the teleporters, but then of course Silver Surfer comes in and she destroys almost all of them. But then Johnny plays her a message in her language, because he was studying what her language was. And then we get to see her backstory, and I really like the scene. I thought the scene was really good with Johnny and Silver Surfer. I'm forgetting her actual name too. God damn it, Shallow Ball. I swear, I was at the top of my head and I couldn't think of it. Yeah, I think Shallow Ball's backstory was handled very well, and I think that was just a really good scene with her and Johnny. So yeah, then of course they come up with a new plan, instead to send Galactus himself to somewhere far, far away from them. And of course we then see Galactus head to Earth, which I don't know if it's just me, but does the movie ever mention or show the fact that Galactus can grow and shrink? Because I don't know if they did or not. I was kind of confused about that after the movie, if we actually saw that, because I don't know, specifically if he was bigger at all when they first went to see him in space. I don't know. I am curious on that when I rewatch it, to try to notice that and see if he could actually grow, or maybe that was his actual just size. I don't know. I was kind of confused on that, but it's whatever. Of course, Galactus goes to Earth. They're about to trap him in the portal thing, but then he notices it's a trap and sees Franklin. He goes after him, and they're all trying to stop him. Of course, at this point, also the thing has a beard, which is pretty funny, and it looked cool. And I thought it was kind of cool how Galactus threw the thing all the way up to space, showing just how much of a giant he is. If that makes sense, that made any sense, but. I want to see Spider-Man Brand New Day. Yeah, that is the next MCU movie. Over a year from now. We're over a year away from the next MCU movie. That has not happened since, what, Far From Home and Black Widow? Yeah, that was the last time we had any, that long of a gap. And that gap was 2 years. That was a 2-year gap for that. For the movies, obviously. But, because obviously we got the shows and stuff in the meantime. But movie-wise, yeah, we got a year break. So... yeah. Anyway, yeah, they're all trying to stop Galactus. Reed is doing, it's like stabbing him, and then Galactus grabs him and starts like stretching him, which I thought was pretty crazy. And he was just stretching him, and it was hurting. The Thing, of course, Johnny brings the Thing in, or he brings Ben back down, and then Ben says it's clobbering time. I will say I'm slightly disappointed. It was kind of used for comedic effect, like, you know, because like clearly the way he said it was not like that serious, you know. Kind of sad it wasn't more like in the traditional it's clobbering time. It was more like it's clobbering time, you know, something like that. Kind of made me a little disappointed in that, but it was still nice hearing him, you know, say it, because obviously they were building on that the whole movie. For like, hey, say the Thing, and he's like, eh. So I don't know. Of course, Galactus gets to the Baxter building. He grabs Franklin, and then we have Sue managing to push Galactus into the portal. And I thought that was very cool, and it really did show how powerful Sue Storm is, because she is pretty much the most powerful member of the Fantastic Four. So yeah, she's pushing him back. They're able to get him into the portal, which was open for like 37 seconds, they said. He starts getting out, and Johnny's about to make a sacrifice and push himself in with Galactus, but then Silver Surfer comes back, and she does the sacrifice, pushing herself with Galactus through the portal, which I thought was pretty nice. That was a pretty nice redemption moment for Shadowball. Thought that was pretty good. But yeah, do you think Cable will be in Avengers Doomsday? I doubt it personally, but you know, he could. I still think it's just. I honestly still think it's dumb he wasn't in Deadpool and Wolverine, at least at the very beginning. I think that was dumb. I don't get why they didn't want Josh Brolin back. Is it because he played Thanos? Like, yeah. But I mean, hopefully, I'd like to see Josh Brolin play Cable again. But yeah, so that happens. Sue dies. And I'm not gonna lie, I actually almost teared up at this part. Because, okay, listen, I knew Sue wasn't dead. It was obvious she was gonna, you know, come back somehow. Like, I was expecting Franklin was gonna bring her back. But still, it was like, I think it was mainly because of the, like, Pedro's acting. And obviously, like, Joseph Quinn and Ebon Moss, like, how they were in the scene as well as she was dead. Yeah, they all did a great job with, like, their emotion in that scene. So I think that's why I almost cried, honestly, was because they just did, especially Pedro, he did a great job in that scene when she was dead. It was definitely, I think it was definitely better than Rise of the Silver Surfers fake out death of Sue too, because, you know, I feel like that one they didn't really try to make it all that emotional, and even then she was like, they immediately made us make sure she was okay with Silver Surfer just like doing something to her and she was fine. But yeah, of course, Franklin like touches her and then, or hovers, he does something, and then of course she comes back, and then yeah, and then they try to announce the Fantastic Five, which I thought was kind of funny because, you know, Franklin. But then I like the like fan thing that they're at the beginning of the movie. They get like the emergency thing, and they go on their next adventure to save the city. So yeah, honestly, like I said, I had a fun time with this movie. I really had a fun time, and I think something else I really liked about it was how serious it was. Because yeah, there are jokes here and there, but I feel like this is definitely one of the MCU movies that, like, when it's like when a moment was serious, they did not let a joke interrupt it at all. Because listen, I love the MCU, but I too get annoyed whenever that happens, when a serious moment's happening and then suddenly a joke just comes in and ruins it. I think this movie definitely did not have that at all. Just god fucking dang, y'all. I was gonna say, just like with Thunderbolts that I can remember, Thunderbolts also didn't have any of that, so really enjoyed that. Like Captain America: Brave New World kind of did at some parts, to be honest, but yeah, I will say one of my okay, I'll get into some of my problems before we get to the post-credit scene. Obviously, okay, I think the movie actually looks pretty good. like I said, Galactus looks great. The theme looks great. I will agree. I do think Franklin looks pretty rough throughout. Yeah, I don't think it looks terrible, but there are definitely certain parts where I think where he does look just really bad, the CG baby. But I think at other parts he looks fine enough. So, but still, there are other parts. Like I said, there's other parts where he just looks bad. So, another problem I have is some of the editing, like specifically some of the cutaways, like just felt weird. Like specifically at one point, like Susan the backstrip, like Richard's like, oh, we have to, or Reed's like, oh, we have to use Franklin as bait, and Sue's like, no, and then turns invisible, and then it immediately cuts to her just on the street with Franklin. Like, there were certain cuts like that I thought were kind of weird, you know, throughout. But other than that, I think that's kind of it for cons, honestly. Of course, we didn't get to the post-credit scene, which, by the way, I seriously don't see the whole, like, complaining with this post-credit scene and Thunderbolt's post-credit scene. I swear, I keep seeing people, specifically my best friend, well, my best friend hates the Russo brothers, to be honest, but, or to be fair, I should say, but yeah, I keep seeing people, like, complaining that the post-credit scene in this movie looks bad, and the post-credit scene in Thunderbolts, the second one, looked bad. And both were directed by the Russo brothers, and I'm just like, what looks bad about it? Like, I actually get confused. Like, what is bad about, like, the way it's filmed? The way, like, I don't get it. But anyway, yeah, we get the post-credit scene. We see it's 4 years later. We see Franklin's you know, a little bit older. Of course, Sue goes to another room to get like a book, and then we hear a portal opening, and then we see Doctor Doom, the back of Doctor Doom at least, and we see Franklin like touching his face. Ooh, and then we get the title card, the Fantastic Four will return in Avengers Doomsday. I thought it was a pretty good post-credit scene, and you know, I'm more so surprised that it didn't tie into Thunderbolts, because obviously, that's what a lot of people were theorizing, including me, was that after the post-credit scene of Thunderbolts, where we saw the Fantastic Four ship, you know, coming to their Earth, we're like, ooh, so is Fantastic Four gonna end with their Earth getting destroyed by like, Galactus, and so they're going to the 616 Earth, the MCU Earth. But no, and then someone did bring up, and I think this could actually be true, and this is followed up by another point, which I'll get to that point real quick, actually. According to Matt Shakman, the director of the movie, the very end of Doctor Doom, that was RDJ in the costume, according to him. Because as soon as I saw the movie, I was like, okay, that was probably a stunt guy. You know, since we didn't see his face, that was probably just a stunt person wearing the green hood. But according to the director of this movie, that was RDJ in that suit in that moment. Here's what I'm thinking. Well, this is what other people were saying, but now I'm thinking it too. The post-credit scene of this movie and the post-credit scene of Thunderbolts are both scenes from Avengers Doomsday. They are both scenes from Avengers Doomsday, and this would make sense because Marvel has done this. They did that with Ant-Man, the second post-credit scene of Ant-Man. Of course, they showed a scene from Civil War, which we saw in Civil War the next year, and they did that with Doctor Strange in the first or second post-credit scene, the one with Thor. You know, a scene from Thor Ragnarok, which was in that movie the year after. So yeah, so Marvel has done that. So I'm starting to believe people when they say that it's possible that the post-credit scene of this movie was filmed during Doomsday and the Thunderbolts one. And I'm assuming both those scenes, like as they were writing them or as they wrote them, they decided those would be the post-credit scenes because we heard like, you know, the Drake Schreier, the director of Thunderbolts, was there when they filmed that scene, and then Matt Shakman was there when they filmed the post-credit scene of this movie. So I'm assuming they did that. I'm assuming that's what they did, and maybe they did the Doctor Doom, like just from behind on purpose, for, you know, the post-credit scene of this movie. But yeah, I do think it's interesting that it was actually Robert Downey Jr. On set, and they didn't show him. But yeah, then we get a second post-credit scene, which is like the cartoon thing, which is cute. So yeah, so like I said, overall, I love this movie. I had a great time with this movie. Definitely the best Fantastic Four movie. And definitely a great start to Phase 6, you know, because, you know, definitely a way better start than Phase 5. Um, Even more than Phase 4, honestly. I know a lot of people love WandaVision. I like WandaVision. WandaVision's solid, but I don't think it's that great, honestly. But still, I think this movie was a great start to Phase 6. And, yeah, and I'm excited to see the Fantastic Four again next year in Doomsday. Same with obviously like Thunderbolts, like I brought up in my Thunderbolts review. So yeah, I'm excited to see how they tie in. And I think I forgot to mention, I also did love like the city, like the Earth they were on. I especially loved how there was what was it, Earth 828? I'm already forgetting. God damn it. They based the Earth off the date that Jack Kirby, the creator of the Fantastic Four, was born, I think, either born or when he died, you know what I mean? Like the month and day. I thought that was a pretty nice touch there. So yeah, I will be a little bit sad admittedly because obviously we're all assuming after Secret Wars the Fantastic Four are gonna, you know, be a part of the main 616 Earth, so which means we're probably not gonna see the, you know, like this whole city of New York again. But, you know, for this movie I thought it was pretty cool looking. So yeah, sorry, I'm just looking at chat again. But anyway, I'm just think, anything else to say? Any other thoughts? Don't think so. Herbie was cool. I didn't even talk about Herbie. Herbie, you were cool. I liked Herbie. It was pretty cool. But otherwise, I think that is it. Okay, actually, what did I like more, Fantastic Four or Superman? Here's what's surprising. My dad said he liked Fantastic Four more than Superman. I say that's surprising because my dad loves Superman. Superman's his favorite superhero of all time. You know, because he was, you know, he was a kid when the Christopher Reeves movies came out, so he loves Superman. And he really enjoyed the recent Superman movie. But yeah, he said he might like this one better because he said it felt more like a movie. Which, you know, I can see it because Superman was definitely more like a comic, like going for more like comic booky type movie, if that makes sense. So yeah. Also, I don't know why my phone turned off. I'm trying to watch the stream. Okay, there we go. But anyway, yeah. Now what do I think? Okay, here's the thing. I need to rewatch both. Okay, here's the thing. Yeah, there's the thing. I definitely need to rewatch both movies before I can fully decide. But I feel like maybe this is me just guessing based on how it'll go on rewatch. I feel like I'm gonna prefer Fantastic Four. I feel like I might prefer Fantastic Four. Now who knows, maybe I'll rewatch them both and I'll be like, actually I do like Superman better. But I might like Fantastic Four more. I honestly might prefer Fantastic Four over Superman. You know, and I'm saying that because obviously Superman's, I think more people have been saying they like Superman more than Fantastic Four. But honestly, I might like it more than Superman. I might. We'll see when I rewatch, but you know, I guess we'll see. But yeah, I think that is going to do it though. I'm trying to think. Any other thoughts? Don't think so. Okay, actually, okay, I got one more. A lot of people have been complaining about the runtime, it being too short. Personally, I didn't really mind the runtime. I did not. At no point in the movie did I feel like it was going too fast. You know, I honestly didn't feel that at all during the movie. Like, okay, I can see why people like people specifically have been bringing up like the third act not being all that long, but personally, I didn't mind it. It didn't bother me at all, so I was fine with the runtime. So yeah, but yeah, now I think that will do it. So overall, I loved Fantastic Four First Steps. I thought it was a great introduction to our mainline Fantastic Four in the MCU. And yeah, I'm really excited to see them again. Now, I will, of course, just like my Superman review, show you guys my letterbox thing. If it'll focus, hopefully it will focus. Come on, focus. Please focus. Please focus. Hello. Okay, there we go, yeah. So there's my log of the movie after I saw it. Of course, like I said, my Superman one, if you want to know my immediate thoughts on that was my charger. If you want to know my immediate thoughts on movies whenever I watch them or rewatch them, then be sure to go follow me on Letterboxd, link in the description to that. If you want to, you know, see my see what I think of movies the first time I review them. I also did log I've also logged the Fan Four Stick and the original Fantastic Four too. So if you want to, you know, check those out, go follow me on Letterboxd. But yeah, I think that is going to do it. So yeah, let me know what you guys thought though of Fantastic Four First Steps down in the comments. And yeah, thank you all so much for joining the live stream, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace out.